Rune MF asks, does NG have a place in the optimal party? I would say it is not. It does not have a place in an optimal party. The issue with NG having a place in an optimal party is that you're going to be doing stuff that if your team is already optimal, you're already doing. So here's the thing: if you're in an optimal party, you don't need the vuln from the NG. If you're in an optimal party, you don't need the might stacking from an NG. So it's just not overall useful. All right. So for Ellie, I like the staff build. Dekeys on her YouTube has all the different Ellie builds you can run. I personally run staff. I think I'm not an Ellie pro. I'm not an expert at the class. I don't know all the rotations. I don't know all the dagger and scepter tricks. So for me, running staff is just the overall easiest thing to do. And so you basically go full berserker. I'm using strength runes on my Ellie. The staff build doesn't stack as much might as the other builds, other weapons, but I still think the strength is overall a benefit for the build, and it allows you to have better upkeep of your might for the party. So the trait's 64202. In fire, I take internal fire, deal more damage when attuned to fire. In this build, when you're doing your DPS, you're pretty much always going to be in fire, so it's pretty much a straight 10% DPS boost. Pyromancer's Alacrity. When it reduces the recharge on all fire weapon skills, which makes Lava Font cool down in 4.5 or 4 3/4 seconds, and it has a duration of 6 seconds, so you can pretty much have a 100% uptime Lava Font. That is really good. I think it's something like 95% uptime. Permanent fire field, permanent damage ticks. It's pretty powerful. Burning Rage, 10% to burning foes. Pretty much in every dungeon, everything you're fighting is going to have burning on it, so this is pretty much a straight DPS increase. And then Persisting Flames, blast finishes you execute on fire fields grant fury, and fire fields last longer. This makes Lava Font last longer, which is good, and it gives you can stack fury to your party. I go 20 into air. You can, if you don't want Arcane Lightning, go 10 into water. You can do it this way. And take Vital Striking, which is another Scholar rune, basically. But I think overall, while the DPS is a little worse, I think the extra chance to crit is worthwhile. And the DPS trade-off isn't that terrible, because you're getting essentially 250 ferocity from this investment. Bolt to the Heart, 33% or 20% damage increase against foes below 33% health. Always good. And like I said, Arcane Lightning. The build uses, you're going to have 3 arcane skills on your bar at any time. So you'll have 100% upkeep of Arcane Lightning. There'll be no question about that. So, moving on to Earth Magic. You have Stone Splinters. Deals more damage when you're within 600 range of the target, 10% increase. Even though Staff is the best range weapon in the game, because of that trait, you're going to want to be right on top of the boss, so you're always within 600 range, and you're always going to get that 10%. It increases your DPS, even if it costs you a little survivability. Arcana. Blasting Staff is really pretty good. For a while, I was choosing not to run Blasting Staff, and I didn't see the reason to run it when you could get another trait that does big damage, like getting 10 in Water Magic. But I have come to find out after playing too that one, it makes your Lava Fonts bigger, easier for people to blast, and more useful. but it also makes your meteor showers a lot better. My understanding of the way it works is that it doesn't make this circle bigger of the meteor showers, but it makes each individual meteor hit in a bigger area. So against a normal human-sized target, it will basically double the amount of meteors that you get. And against a big target, like, say, Lupicus or the tree in TA, or any, like, giant-sized boss, meteor shower will just devastate them. It'll do tens of thousands of damage. So you are definitely benefiting from Blasting Staff. Okay, so how does the build work play-wise? Okay, so you pretty much want to start every fight in Earth Attunement once our fire cools down, just because this is how you're going to stack your might. You'll drop number 2, switch to fire, drop lava font, and stack might. So there we go, 9 stacks of might that last about 30 seconds. As these come off cooldown in less than 30 seconds, when they come back, you'll be able to stack even more might. While you're fighting, you're going to 100% keep lava font up. You are always going to want to keep lava font going. And then auto attack while your lava font's ticking. You will be doing about 5 to 6k in a level 80 dungeon with your auto attack, and then another 5k from your lava font. So you're essentially going to have about 10k DPS from that. While you have a lava font going, you can drop meteor shower, and the meteor shower, the lava font, and your auto attacks will all tick at the same time. It does. You'll see a huge amount of numbers filling up your screen. Pretty good stuff. Anyway, so the build does a lot of damage. Everyone knows that. Other tricks you can do, if you are back up against a wall, you can use Burning Retreat, and it stacks the entire line in one spot, and it's sort of like a fiery greatsword. It's like a mini fiery greatsword. Each tick only will do like 800 damage on a crit, but it's still pretty decent. It'll hit really a lot of times. And if you're up against a corner like that, you can do pretty significant damage. It's always worth adding to your repertoire and your rotation if you have it. Just some other things that the staff can do. The number 2 water skill does 5 stacks of Vuln. Not like the greatest thing in the world, but if for some reason you have to be there, you're in good shape. Geyser is a water field. So if your party ever did need quick burst heals, you can use Geyser. Frozen Ground has applications like in fractals, like the Grawl fractal. You can keep, when he goes into his protective bubble, you can chill him, and he'll be chilled for quite a long time. And Healing Rain is a water field that cures conditions and grants regen to your party, so it does pretty good healing in an emergency. You really don't want to count on your water fields to keep your party up, but in an emergency situation, they're good. So the air, you get AoE swiftness for the whole party, always good. And then you have your static aura, which you can use for CC purposes, or you can blast in it for swiftness. All kinds of good applications. So the Fiery Greatsword, everyone knows how that works. You go up against a wall, and then press number 4, and you do a couple 100,000 damage. Number 5 is an AoE, and the number 3 is a whirl. The auto attack's pretty bad, but it's worth using while your number 4 is on cooldown. And that's Fiery Greatsword. As far as the skills go, I like Arcane Brilliance for the heal since it's a blast finisher and an arcane skill. I like Arcane Wave because it's a blast finisher and does pretty decent damage. Signet of Fire gives you massive amount of precision, which is always good. I like Arcane Shield because Ellies are squishy and you don't really have vigor. So the The thing I would say about that is you could use the Arcane Blast because it's got a lower cooldown and does some pretty decent damage. But I like this for the survivability. There are times where you definitely need Arcane Shield, and it doesn't hurt to have. So uh, that's basically it for the Staff Ellie. That's the Ellie build I'm most comfortable on. And that's the build I would suggest running, especially if you're new to Ellie and you're just starting to do dungeon speedruns. Yeah, then definitely check out the Staff Ellie. It's the easiest to run. Your team will definitely benefit from the DPS. And you can stack Might in a pinch, 9 stacks, and Fury. So you can help carry a little bit in pugs that don't have the greatest of things. So, the Ellie, highly recommend Staff, like I said. Does anyone have any last questions about the Ellie before I switch professions? Okay. And so there seems to be a conversation about whether you want Strength or Scholar. So Scholar might be slightly better than Strength on the staff, but I think the utility of the Might duration for the rest of your party kind of overweighs it. There's definitely some other arguments there that could be made, but I'm kind of persuaded by the Strength mods. So that's it for Staff Ellie. I'm gonna move on.